إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا أنتم مسلمون. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. Jazakallah khair for coming, and inshallah I want to apologize again for the screen, so you might want to come closer to the so you can see it from the. Can you see it from the back? Yeah. So inshallah, we haven't got a projector, so I'm going to do it from the laptop, inshallah, because it will make sense when you see the pictures, inshallah. As they say, a picture says 1,000 words. Yeah. So why ban the minarets? But before I start with this topic, I just wanted to ask the brothers here in this room, how many of them knew about this issue before someone else told them? For example, you on your own accord found out about this issue. How many of you lot did that without someone else needing to tell you? Show me, hands. So all of you, okay, you knew about it on your own accord, yeah? Alright. So majority of you didn't know about this until someone else told you. Keep that in mind, and I'll come back to that point later on in the presentation, inshallah. So, minarets. As you know, about a week ago in Switzerland is a country in Europe, but it's not part of the European Union and has never been part of the European Union. It's a neutral country, yeah? And they decided, they have a system where they call it direct democracy. So if people want to decide, they have a policy. So let's say we want to stop cars coming to the city. Someone has that idea. So they go to the government and they propose this. We want to stop cars coming in. And if enough people, there's enough support for this, then it goes to a vote. Where in Switzerland it's different from here, the people directly can vote in a piece of legislation or policy. As in this case, they banned the minarets on this issue. So a group by the name, the Swiss People's Party, which is a far-right group in Switzerland, started a campaign in Switzerland. They started a campaign. You know what? Before this banning of the minaret, this party, the Swiss People's Party, they were going to choose another aspect of Islam. And you know what that was? A lot of people don't know this. They were going to choose to ban Muslims cutting their meat, you know how we cut it, sacrifice the meat in a way. They were going to do that. But guess what? They stopped doing that because, the only reason they stopped it because they found out that the Jews also do it and they didn't want to offend them as well. So they left that because they knew they might be claimed as anti-Semitic. So they didn't go on that policy. So they decided to do something else, which is ban the minarets. You know, minarets, what are they? As Brother Kurs was saying, it's a piece of architecture that people have, mosques have. When people used to go up there and do the azan, they used to go and call people to prayer. And you know what, in Switzerland, there's not a big Muslim population. It's about 6%. 6% out of 7.5 million is Muslim in Switzerland. A majority are Turkish or Balkan state countries, people from there as well. There's about 150 masjids in Switzerland. And out of them, how many do you think has minarets? Any guesses? 4. 4 as only have minarets. 4 out of 150 has minarets. And they wanted to ban this. Yeah? And these, if you see the pictures here, these are 2 of the mosques, masjids I found in Switzerland. This one is a minaret. It looks like a church thing here, but it's a minaret. It's a Turkish mosque. And this is a church spire. Very similar. Now this is one minaret in Switzerland, and that's another minaret in Switzerland. These 2 plus the other 2 got in before the ban. And even to get these 4 minarets, it took a lot of effort. So, basically, as you said, this is a issue that the Swiss People's Party, far-right group, got, and they put it to the vote. And you know what? The people, when before they said it might not happen, people won't vote for it, they thought it's not going to go through. But 57.5% of those that voted for the ban against the minaret. And it shook the Swiss government up. But they didn't expect that. 57.5, over half whoever voted for the ban on the minaret. And they banned it. And they said, we're going to ban it. And now it's banned. So that's the story behind the banning of the Swiss. It's not only in Switzerland. There's many other issues in Europe as well against Islam, which I'll come on to. But that will get you up to date on why the Swiss banded. The Swiss banded the people. You know, sometimes politicians or political groups in Europe will use an example to get they will pick on someone or a community to get popular votes. And in a way, the Swiss People's Party has won. They've got popular people supporting them now by using anti-Islam as a tool now. So, a question to the brothers. Do you lot think this issue about the Swiss banning the minarets is an isolated incident? Or is it part of a wider campaign? Your views, please. Do you think it's an isolated campaign or isolated issue that they banned the minarets? Or do you think it's a part of a wider campaign? Wider. Why do you say that, brother?
Well, it's just like one aspect, you know, Islam, and like you said, anti-Islam.
That's right, brother. So we know this issue is not an isolated case. In Europe and all over Europe, there has been cases where the burqa, the Quran, many other things that I will come on to, and I'll give you examples. In the next few slides, I will show you how, through what people have said, different people in Europe, politicians, to religious people, to writers in magazines, what they have said about Islam. And the main issue, don't get bogged down that they're banning the minaret, they're banning the Quran. You got to realize they're against Muslims. Muslims, they don't mind Muslims in their countries, as some of these quotes would say, but they have an issue with Islam. That's the main issue. They have a problem with Islam, and they want to change that. What's that picture? Some person said it's anger. What it is, it's a storm. A picture like that, a storm. A storm is already here. What I'm saying is a storm has come already in Europe. And this storm is growing every day is growing. It's already here. And this storm is against Islam. That's why I gave a picture to illustrate the storm is already here. And that is growing. Every day is growing now. All over Europe. So now I'm going to go on to show you what people have said and show you that it's not an isolated case of banning of the minarets Europe-wide. Can anyone name him? Pope Benedict. Pope Benedict said, show me what Muhammad has bought. He said, look, show me what he has bought, and you'll find only things that are evil in humans, such as his command to spread by the sword the faith he preached. So this is a guy who gave a speech to, and this is what he said about Muhammad Islam, that he spread Islam by the sword. So is that an isolated case about the minarets? Anyone know this woman's name? Melanie Phillips. She writes for The Spectator. She wrote a book called Londistan. Yeah, she writes saying that the UK, London has been taken over by Muslims, and that this is a safe haven for them. She said, it directly, i.e. Islam, conflicts with the Western values in areas such as the treatment of women, freedom of speech and the separation of private and public, values and tolerance of homosexuality. These are all liberal fundamentals and are not negotiable. She's saying in the West we have our values, we have our way of life, and Islam has its way of life and its values, and these things are not negotiable. Islam has to change, or it doesn't work out. This guy, I'm sure you know him, Geert Wilders. The way he says Geert. This is a Dutch politician who made the film called Fitna in Holland. And some of the stuff he's saying gets me really angry, which I'm going to show you as well. This Geert Wilders, he's the one that called for the Quran. Look what he says. He said, ban this wretched book, the Quran, na'udhu billah, just like the Menheft is banned in Holland. Menheft is Hitler's book of ideas. They banned that. So they said, ban this wretched book of the Quran, na'udhu billah. Then he said, Muslims living in the Netherlands should tear out half of it, the Quran. So he said some aspects of it he should tear out, like he said in his Fitna film. Then he goes on to say, if Muhammad lived today, I would propose chasing him out of the country with peck and fetters. Na'udhu billah.